Welcome to the Ohio Association for College Admissions Counseling Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is one of the many sessions that's going on, so make sure you sign up for other additional sessions as well. These presentations also will be recorded, so at a later time, you can find all these things at strivescan.com/Ohio. So that's enough of the housekeeping for the evening. Let's get started with our presenters. First up, we're going to have DigiPen Institute of Technology.
Cool, let me share my screen. It looks like no one's here yet, so this will be to future students that are watching the recording of this, which will be exciting. Great. Hi, so yeah, my name is Alec Liebson. I'm from DigiPen Institute of Technology. DigiPen is a four-year private college founded in 1988. We are a very specific and highly specialized college, kind of focusing in these four areas that you see up here. That's really what we focus in on. We are into computer science, we're into digital art and animation, we're into game design and development, and we're into music and sound design. So the founding of DigiPen is a cool story. It's actually founded by the co-founder of Nintendo Software Technologies. He really saw the need, his name's Mr. Claude Comer. He saw the need to create an education system for these industries. And if you can imagine in 1988, they weren't the top of your mind when you thought, oh, this is a huge industry, the game industry, or even the computer science industry. But now, games are huge employers of people, and the general technology industry is as well. And so in 1998, we were degree granting and really founded our place in Redmond, Washington. Yeah, we're in Redmond, Washington, so West Coast in Washington State. We're about 16 miles outside Seattle, so it's like a 25-minute, 30-minute drive. It's a suburban area, and the reason we're there is actually not random. Microsoft was founded in Redmond, and really that drew a ton of companies to this specific city. We actually have over 350 game companies in a 25-mile radius of our school. So that's why we're there, is because we want to connect you directly to those companies while you're still in school. And then in the greater technology world, we have Amazon, Google, Microsoft, of course, some of the game engine creators, so actually the back end of things, all in our small little area there. So it's really a hub, and it's actually the #1 place in the US to work in the game industry, and then only second in the world to Tokyo, Japan. So that's a good reason to come to DigiPen if you have to move. Which brings me actually to the fact that we have 30% out-of-state students. So we do actually have quite a few people coming from out of state to come study at DigiPen, because they know maybe their dream companies out there, maybe they want to work at Nintendo and it's in our backyard. And the prestige of our programs for these specific industries usually comes up in their search if that's what they want to do, and that if they know that's what they want to do. Yeah, we're about 1,200 students. So again, a small school, you're going to have that small, tight-knit community, really close relationships with your professors and staff and faculty. And yeah, the student body is also quite tight-knit. We don't have some things like big sports games or Greek life and fraternities, but the students that usually come to DigiPen aren't too hyped on that in the first place. And really what they're looking for is a safe community, really close friends with similar interests, and that's definitely what they get. And I'll talk about student life towards the end as well. Yeah, as I mentioned, tons of companies in our area. This is just a small sampling of those 350 plus game companies in our area. Probably some of your favorites on there. So yeah, hopefully you Google them and see that they're right behind us, and Google DigiPen's proximity, like, oh, it's a 5-minute walk. That's awesome. So yeah, DigiPen is really, really renowned when it comes to these specific degrees. We're actually the first school to offer a video game programming degree, and we're consistently ranked in the top 5 of Princeton Review's game design schools for the past 10 years. And they just actually came out with that again. We're still top 5, which is awesome. So this is the big overview of our degree programs. So the kind of big categories you want to think about when you're thinking about DigiPen are computer science, game design and development degrees, which can include a couple computer science degrees, but more specific to the game development process, digital art and animation, and then music and audio degrees. So you kind of feel out which category you're in and then go from there. The kind of big overlap often is the Bachelor of Arts in Game Design and then the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Game Design. A lot of people are torn between those two, so I like to just kind of give you a rundown of what the Bachelor of Arts in Game Design is specifically. It's actually a player experience psychology-based humanities program. So you're thinking more about how a player relates to a game, how they interact with the game, some of the social science elements of game testing, narrative and world building and storytelling. So it's definitely a creative degree, but it's not like our digital art and animation degree, which is going to be 3D modeling and drawing and sketching and all those things. So it's somewhere kind of in between the two of those programmers and artists, almost like the director of a film, right? They're kind of putting together all the parts. Now, the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Game Design takes about 25% of that more humanities-based game design and combines it with 75% of a programming degree specific to games. So that's kind of where people sometimes start. They're like, oh, I want to go into the game industry. Oh, the game design program. So then you want to think about, are you a narrative designer or are you a programmer? And there's some other options in the computer science field for programmers, and just kind of depends on what you want to specialize in. Yeah, as I mentioned, our degree is really focused on 3D modeling and applying that to both animated film and games. Our music program is really focused on sound design and scoring for games and film. So really great options there. A big part of why we're so specific is because all those degrees I just mentioned funnel into our project-based learning. We're focusing on teaching you a ton and having pretty challenging classes that really prepare you for your industry, but then you apply that to projects. They're actually professional game projects that usually last about a semester to a year, or professional animated short films. I'm going to post a link to our YouTube so you can kind of watch some trailers or the full short film to get a feel for just kind of what level they're at. And then if you happen to have Steam, you can actually search DigiPen on Steam and you'll see all of DigiPen's games for free listed there. And we actually have one game right now that's been in the top 10 for all Steam downloads for the past 2 weeks, I believe. So that's really awesome to kind of see a student game sneak in there and just compete against, AAA games as well. Yeah, so as I mentioned, like our clubs are on-campus events, which I can talk a little bit more about later in one of our upcoming questions. And our community is what really brings us together. Everyone has really similar interests and a shared interest. And you're really going to find your niche, really going to find your close companions and friends at DigiPen. And we provide a lot of events and clubs and communities to make that happen. Yeah, some ways to apply. You might be able to zoom in there and take a look or pause this video and check out different ways to apply, but each one has a bit different things to work on, whether it's math and science for computer science, writing, art, music, history for game design, traditional art and fine art for the fine art and animation degree, and then practicing your instrument for the music degree. Real quick, I'm going to wrap up with a little sizzle reel we have that just kind of gives you a taste of what we make at DigiPen and what it's like here. Awesome. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, DigiPen. Next, we're going to have Verto Education.
Well, it's hard to follow that video. Thanks. Awesome. Hi, everybody. My name is Lainey. I'm the Senior Associate Director of Admissions with Verto. I am also going to share my screen. So with Verto, we are putting travel front and center for our students. So essentially what we offer is that first semester of college or that first full year of college traveling abroad, and then you're continuing at your school of choice for the rest of your 3.5 years of school. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. You get to travel and you also get to come back to the States and continue as normal. I have a video. It might not be as cool as DigiPen's. Sometimes it's a little choppy and my computer is slow, so I apologize in advance. So as you can see in that video, we have 6 different options for students to travel. Our mission as an organization is to provide higher education and international travel for students, regardless of their backgrounds, regardless of where they want to end up in life. So we want to just make this as streamlined and affordable and awesome as possible. That breaks down into 3 big pillars: admissions to a great fit school, best first year of college, and affordable education. So on our semesters, as I mentioned, you have 6 different options. You get to choose where you want to go. All of them are going to have the same core components, and it's going to be those academics, obviously, because we are college semesters. There's going to be a cultural immersion component, an experiential learning component, and a sense of personal growth. So there's a lot loaded into our semesters. I kind of like to think of it as almost like a gap year without the gap. It's really highlighting communities, global issues, cultural pasts, but on that academic platform. So you're earning 16 college credits. You're taking those freshman gen ed. So it's really great regardless of what you're planning to major in school. We do have small classes, so you're traveling with your professors and with our program leaders. So it's definitely like a big family that you're traveling around with. We do have life skills and a purpose finding workshop that we weave into all of our semesters. So you're learning everything from financial literacy, like what do student loans look like, to what is a good relationship and how to build healthy boundaries, to what are different ways to study for tests, or what are my 5 and 10 year goals, and what are the stepping stones I need to build to get there. So a lot of self-discovery. I wish I had that before I went to college. Super helpful. So our on-campus semesters, these are more traditional. When you think study abroad, that's kind of along these lines. These are all in Europe. So we have one in England, Italy, and Spain. This is going to be about the gist of how they all look. So you're staying in a student residence with other Verto students. You're commuting to your class. They are all taught by Verto professors. You're not taking all 6 of these courses. You get to pick 4. And then you have that independence and free time to really travel around the city. You can, go to your favorite coffee shop. You can take pasta making classes, all that stuff. So pretty awesome. We do have a lot of excursions that we do for all of our semesters as well. We do these as a group. Some are just fun, some are historic, some are interwoven with your classes to bring what you're learning inside the classroom, outside of the classroom. Our field semesters are almost more of that gap year feel. So you're staying in smaller communities, more rural towns, and we're traveling to a different location every month. So it's a great way for students, I think, to get more understandings of different communities, even if that is just within one country. So for example, our South Pacific semester, students travel from Fiji to Australia to New Zealand. Pretty incredible. It's a lot of countries in one semester of college. And we're staying in a group with 20 students with your professors and our program leaders in base houses, student residences, and we do homestays as well. So again, you're taking 4 college courses. We do a lot of stuff on our field semesters. And one really awesome thing is we're really bringing students outside of the classroom for our field semesters. You might not even take classes in actual classrooms, but we're partnering with organizations in these countries so that you get a hands-on experience working on projects that directly relate to what you're learning in the classroom. We do have a year-long Change the World Honors Program. It's amazing. You start in either London or South Pacific, and then you end in Costa Rica. It's honors level courses. There's a lot that goes into this, so definitely check that out on our website. The admissions to a great fit school. So what this is referring to is all of our partner colleges. So if you're looking to apply to Verto and are in the college application process, which you probably are or will be soon, our application is free. It's non-binding. We do have a 2.5 GPA minimum, but we are test optional. When you apply to Verto, you have the option to apply to up to 5 of our partner schools. Currently, we have 58 partner colleges across the states, and I believe 3 or 4 of those are international colleges as well. So that list is always growing. Pretty rad. What that means with the partner schools is you get a holistic review for that application. It is a free application to those colleges as well, and it's a quicker turnaround for your admissions decision. Our partner schools really want our alumni. This is just a couple of our universities that we partner with. As I said, there's over 50, so please check that out on the website. We have some really incredible schools here. If you're not interested in any of our partner colleges, that's no sweat. We'll work with students to make sure our credits will transfer to their college of choice. We do have a post-Verto semester transfer guarantee. If you meet certain requirements, then you can be guaranteed admission into one of our 27 list of schools. So last but not least, affordability, very important when you're considering what to do next with your life. Our semesters we aim to be as affordable, if not much more affordable than traditional four-year university tuition. So our tuition ranges between $15,000 and $25,000. That just depends on location. That tuition does include 3 meals a day. It includes your lodging, all those excursions that we're doing. For snorkeling in Fiji, you're not going to have to pay out of pocket for that. It does not include flights, so that is something to consider as well. But that being said, we do accept federal financial aid, so any FAFSA you receive can be applied to your Verto semester. We also have international scholarships, we accept external scholarships, and we have an opportunity grant that's need-based as well. If you're interested in getting more information, you can scan this code. You should definitely check us out on Instagram because 4 of our 6 locations are actually up and running this spring, and you can live vicariously through our current students. And that is all from me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Verto Education. Next, we're going to have Valparaiso University.
Thank you so much. I loved seeing Valpo on that Verto slide as well as one of the partner schools. I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen real quick. All right. So good evening, everyone. My name is Jordan DeBerkey. I'm an Assistant Director of Admissions at Valparaiso University. Thanks for spending some time with us this evening and getting to know a little bit more about all of our programs that we offer. So a little bit about Valpo, as we call it. Valpo is a private institution located in Valparaiso, Indiana. We are founded in 1859, so we've been around for quite some time. Our school currently sits on about 320 acres and is always expanding. You'll see a great overview of part of our campus, including our chapel on your screen, which is the highest point on our campus, and it's a beautiful place for our students to worship, and it's actually the largest collegiate chapel in the United States, second largest in the world. We are an independent Lutheran institution. About 50% of our students are either Catholic or Lutheran, and 50% are just about everything else. There's no religious requirement for our institution, so all faith backgrounds are completely welcome at our school. We have about 3,200 undergraduate students currently on our campus, and it makes us a mid-sized school, but on the smaller end of that mid-sized institution. Valpo is full of fantastic traditions, from the Kissing Bridge to Welcome Week, opening convocation, games. We've got a lot of things going on. From tree lighting and ice sculpture contests, there's really a little bit of something for everyone to get involved in and really feel that connection to the university's history and the future of the campus as well. So a little bit about Valparaiso, Indiana. We're very fortunate to be in a fantastic location. So we're just an hour outside of Chicago, Illinois, which makes us a great hub for our students. They're going to have a mid-sized town feel, very suburban feel, while still being very connected to the city. We do have a train that takes our students directly in to the city, and just like everyone else, it's a commuter train. So it takes you right into downtown Chicago, just an hour train ride. And we're also 15 minutes from Lake Michigan. So students can spend time at the beach in Indiana or head into Chicago as well. So a great location to get a lot of things out of our town. Valpo is a town of about 33,000 residents, but we're connected to what we call the region here in Indiana, which is a collection of towns within this area on Central Time because we're considered a little bit of a suburb of Chicago. So a lot of people live in this area and commute into Chicago for work as well. Central Park Plaza is actually pictured on your screen right now. Our pavilion in downtown, which hosts farmers market. It's actually an ice skating rink right now during the winter time. Our downtown area is fantastic. It looks like a Hallmark movie, to be completely honest with you. In the wintertime, we have tree lighting ceremonies, ice sculpture contest, ice skating, and the pavilion's about to turn into an outdoor roller skating rink in case you've ever wanted to participate in that. If there can be a festival for it, Valpo probably has one. We have Woofstock, so Doggy Woodstock, that happens every fall. Popcorn Festival. Orville Redenbacher's first popcorn factory was located in Valpo. So we have a popcorn festival every year to celebrate that as well, which brings in about 66,000 people for that event. Like I mentioned, we're close to the Indiana Dunes, just about a 15-minute drive from our campus, and that is the newest national park here in the United States. Fantastic local transportation. Our city is very walkable, as well as having a free bus line for all of our students to utilize as well. Our campus is broken up academically into 5 different academic colleges. Our over 70 majors do fall into those different colleges, including Christ College as one of those 5 colleges. Christ College is our honors college. It gets its name from Christ College in Cambridge, England, and that is a comprehensive program for our honor students on our campus to be a part of. They'd still be a part of their traditional college as well as Christ College as well. A Christ College typically has a cohort of about 80 to 90 incoming students each year as a part of that honors college experience. 70 majors really cover just about anything you could want, from engineering, nursing. We have a 5-year direct admit physician's assistance program, communications, the arts, education, anything you can think of, we offer it at Valpo. We also have individualized majors that you can customize and specialize with your academic advisor and heads of the different departments. Our average class size is less than 20, so you're going to have a lot of personal attention with your faculty and staff. They're really going to know your name and know who you are when you walk into that classroom. All of our programs are direct entry, which means there's no extra application process for you. If you're admitted to Valpo, you're also admitted to that program and you have that spot. So our students start off in their engineering and nursing programs. And I know that's really important to a lot of our students, knowing they have that spot in the classroom to foster that community as opposed to that competition within each other. You'll see all the academic support services that we offer for free for all of our students. From our Career Center, we have over a 97% placement rate after graduation. Different learning centers, our Access and Accommodations Resource Center, to make sure every single student feels welcome and has the best learning environment possible for them, meeting what their needs are. Our free counseling center and student health center that we do offer on campus as well. Excuse me. Our students are highly involved. It's very common to hear a Valpo student rattle off a list of so many different things that they're involved in here on our campus. We do offer over 100 student organizations, as well as having fraternity and sorority life. So our students can get involved in those groups. About 1/3 of our students are in a fraternity or a sorority. University Programming Council, or UPC as we call it, puts on different events from barbecues, bounce houses in the Union, Glow in the Dark mini golf, as well as our spring festival called Valpo Vibes, where they bring in different artists to perform on our campus. The last time we had our concert, we actually had AJR and Panic at the Disco come, and they performed for free for our Valpo students. We do have intramural and club sports as well. Students can get involved in those. My favorite intramural sport is our women's frisbee, ultimate frisbee team called Chicks Hucking Discs. They're wonderful and they compete against other schools. Our Office of Multicultural Programs houses our different student organizations based on their cultural or ethnic backgrounds. So these house a lot of different our world culture events, as well as having a space for those students to go and meet together. Study abroad is very common for Valpo students. About 1/3, if not more, of our students will study abroad at some point in time during their experience here at Valpo. We do, many of our students will actually utilize that 2-week spring break in order to study abroad as well. Valpo is a Division I school, so we are a D1 school in the Missouri Valley Conference. All of our athletic teams are listed there. Football is in a different conference currently, outside of the Missouri Valley Conference, but basketball and volleyball are really big on our campus, as well as all of our other athletic teams. I love going to support our women's bowling team. They do a great job. They're amazing. So you'll see a lot of ways for our students to support each other, get to know each other, and see them compete at this D1 level. All of our athletic events are completely free for students to attend. You just show up with your one card or student ID, and you're good to go. Head right on in and get to hang out in the Valparaiso zone, which is our student section to cheer on your classmates. A little bit about residence life and living on campus. Valpo is a lovely town to live in, and we do have great residence halls as well. Majority of students do reside on campus. We are a residential community. So we do have 3 freshman residence halls, 7 residence halls total for our students to live in a variety of different formats. There is a 30-mile commuting radius to campus. So again, the majority of our students are living on campus. Students do live on campus for about 6 semesters and typically can move off campus their senior year if they choose to do so, or they can continue to live on campus. We do have on-campus apartments as well for typically juniors, so not just traditional style residence halls. There are specialized living learning communities as well for students who are interested in living with a certain group of academically really gifted students or want to focus on studies or a certain language. Our most popular is German House. So we have a house where students only speak German while living in that facility. So when they go home, they speak German in their residence hall. So some great opportunities for our students to engage and spend time together. And that wraps it up for me. Thank you all so much for listening. If you have any questions, we're always happy to help and chat with you more.
Thank you so much, Valparaiso University. Next, we're going to have IE University.
Hello, everyone. My name is Elsa Bustani, and I'm the local representative of IE University in the Northeast. So I graduated from IE a couple of years ago, and as every single alumni at IE noticed, we benefit from 7 different accreditations, which means that you can work and study across 130 plus different nationalities upon graduation. Our bachelor degrees varies from architecture, design, business administration, economics, applied mathematics, international relations, etc. We also offer 5 years dual degrees in business administration and international relations, for example, or in business administration and design, or even one in business administration plus data and business analytics. All of our programs are entirely taught in English and are between 4 and 5 years long. And in terms of the students that we attract and that we're proud of counting among our community, we have usually students coming from 50 plus different education systems. 75% of our students are international students, which means that 3 students out of 4 are not Spanish. We have more than 45 languages spoken on campus and a total of 130 plus nationalities in the undergraduate student body. On average, we have 4,100 students in our undergraduate student body, and we have the chance to offer 2 different campuses and 1 single IE experience. So we have a campus in Segovia and 1 in Madrid. Our campus in Segovia is actually older than the United States. It's more than 800 years old. It's a monument preserved by UNESCO, which means that it's classified as a historic site. And although we maintain the heritage and the architecture medieval form, the facilities are extremely modern. Here you have a couple of pictures of Segovia as a city. The castle of Segovia is one of the castles that actually inspired the logo of Disney. And we also have another campus in Madrid. So our campus in Madrid is extremely urban. We have this new tower, the IE Tower, which is launched this year, starting September. It's a 30-floor skyscraper in the middle of the financial district in Madrid, and it's actually the 3rd tallest campus in the world and the greenest vertical campus in the world, and one of the most interesting campuses in Europe and the most tech-friendly. So at IE, we offer you the opportunity to build your own path, which means that you can pick a couple, your own, you can shape your own education. You can pick different elective and advanced seminars. You also have the opportunity to go for international exchanges, whether we're talking about a semester or even 2 semesters abroad. You also have the opportunity to go for an internship in your last year or your pre-martial year. And in your first and second year, you can join the IEU labs. So what are the IEU labs? It's very specific to IE. In your first and second year at IE University, you can pick and apply and get the opportunity to join one of our labs. So for example, the communication lab worked with Twitter last year on the Spanish governmental campaign. The innovation lab worked on a disrupted solution for TikTok. And we had the social lab that worked with an NGO to create a sustainable human rights guide for different villages in Gabon, in Africa. In terms of exchange program, we have 160 plus different partners, which means that you can study abroad almost in any country that you like as part of your experience at IE. An example of the institution would be, Sciences Po Paris, Cornell University, Michigan University, and many universities across, China, India, and Asia. We also have a very special summer program with Brown University, which means that all of our students can join this 2 weeks accelerator program on social sustainability and have the opportunity to live on campus at Brown for 2 weeks and have credits that they can transfer to IE later on. As a community, we are extremely active. We have more than 100 clubs based on interest, based on career aspiration, based on nationalities, and based on, hobbies. In terms of ranking, we're the first university in Spain, 7 in Europe, 23 worldwide. 95% of our students end up finding a job upon graduation, and 8% of them end up being entrepreneurs. 34% of our job seekers work outside of their country of origin, like myself, and 45% of non-Spanish job seekers stay to work in Spain. 25% of graduates are pursuing further education. And basically, our application profile is very simple. You need to submit your application online through Common App and our own platform. Then you need to take your our own admission test or submit a test score, whether we're talking about the SAT or ACT. Then you'll be invited to take our online assessment. And if you like your profile, you'll be invited for an interview. So again, the admission process is 100% online. It can be done through Common App and our own platform. You will only need to submit your transcript, resume, a letter of recommendation, an essay, a test score, and then take the Kira assessment and be invited for an interview. If you need any further information, feel free to scan my details and reach out to me. And thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, IU University. Next, we're going to have Pittsburgh Institute of Aeronautics.
Hi, I'm Laura Yankish, PIA, Pittsburgh Institute of Aeronautics. And let me get this up here for you. Okay. Let's see, make sure. I'm ready to go. Again, I'm Laura, Pittsburgh Institute of Aeronautics. I'm going to talk a little bit completely different. Our program is kind of fascinating. We are a 16-month, and we have the associate degree for an airframe power plant federal government license. A little bit about us, PIA was ranked #1 by Forbes magazine. How did this all happen? It's Mike Rowe of Dirtiest Jobs. Mike Rowe, a couple years back, said, how come we don't talk about these trade schools? So Forbes magazine listened to Mike Rowe, and they ended up going out and visiting all the trade schools in the United States or contacting them. There was 1,200. They whittled them down, and we came out #1. Why? Cost of the education, the quality, and the amount of money you're going to make afterwards. I'll keep connecting the dots here and explaining it to you. What's an AMT? This will explain a little bit what we do in the industry.
When you think of a career as a mechanic, often the first thing that comes to mind is working in an auto shop, doing the repair and maintenance. When you think think of a career as a mechanic, often the first thing that comes to mind is working in an auto shop, doing the repair and maintenance on our everyday vehicles. But what about those vehicles that travel thousands of miles in mere hours, transporting goods and people across the world as part of their everyday commute? Aviation maintenance technicians are the men and women who ensure the safety and reliability of our aircraft each day. Before a plane takes off, an AMT has worked tirelessly to ensure that the aircraft is mechanically safe to fly by diagnosing mechanical and electrical problems, completing routine inspections, repairing damage to wings, landing gears, and other components, and certifying that aircraft meets the standards set forth by the FAA. This work is led by an elite group of professionals known as AMP mechanics, who train for a minimum of 1,900 hours to understand the complex and unique systems that make up an aircraft, working on planes, jets, drones, blimps, helicopters, or rockets. Their highly specialized skill set makes them sought-after employees, not only in the aviation sector, but in many non-aviation related fields. If you are seeking a career that is fast-paced, challenging, and hands-on, then a career as an aviation maintenance technician might be right for you.
So I always tell the students, if you're thinking about going into engineering, if you're thinking about working with your hands, this industry might be for you. Our campus locations, our Pittsburgh is our main campus. We were founded in 1929. We've been around a long time. And again, I'm going to stress to you, you're going to test for your airframe, you're going to test for your power plant, and you're going to walk out with a federal government license to touch anything in this country that flies: airplane, helicopter, drones, and blimps. Also, we have a campus in Youngstown, Ohio. I'm based out of Youngstown. I go to all the Ohio schools and speak about this program. Youngstown, Hagerstown, Myrtle Beach are a 16-month program. Over here, this is our Youngstown campus, and I show this because I want you to realize it's located out in a rural, beautiful area. Our classes are from 8 to 2:30. And again, you're going to test for your airframe while you're in school and test for your power plant for this federal license. Over here, the aviation industry, helicopters. Helicopters are fascinating. Every hour a helicopter's in the air, it needs a half hour of maintenance. Why? There's a lot of moving parts. Again, one of the companies, First Energy, uses our uses airframe power plant technicians to repair, maintain, and build their aircraft. Cargo, right now, cargo is it in the industry. A lot of the PPE equipment, a lot of our products that we now get and order online that are delivered to your door, we have to certify, repair, and build this aircraft to go back up in the air. Aerospace is another big growing field. Also, we have over 56 companies that hire from us. A little more about us. We are a nonprofit educational institution. We're certified, we're accredited, we have financial aid available. Also, we're under the FAA and we're military friendly. Over here, what we are not a four-year college. We only take 50 students at a time and we do 3 starts a year. I show this lecture hall because we don't even have a hall big enough to house that many students. We are hands-on. You will have bookwork, you will have paperwork, but the beauty of PIA, this is actually hands-on training. Breaking down the skills. Some of the different equipment to work on. tell students it's a tip-to-toe education. Technicians in demand, and this is why I'm here speaking to you tonight about TIA. We have 2% are under the age of 30. Our industry is absolutely growing. And again, Boeing, Southwest, American, Delta, United, they all hire airframe power plant technicians. Aviation technicians, I talk a lot about the maintenance and the AMT. Also, inside the flight deck is called an AET certification. Over here, the airframe and the power plant, you could actually get an associate's degree or the 16-month certification. We've asked all the employers, what are you hiring on? They're hiring on both. This is the council we belong to. This is what we actually do. I'll let you see this.
I can't believe how big this place is and how many people we've seen and how many people we've met. The experience is awesome.
Just real quick, a little background also with our career services. You'll see the numbers here. They're fantastic. This is for lifetime, by the way. You can call career services free of charge. Say you want to move to Texas, you want to move to California. We will set you up the interviews and what's actually available in the industry. Over here, these are just some of our people who have hired our graduates. We are very well known in the industry. And again, with that airframe power plant certification, you can repair, you can build, and you can maintain aircraft anywhere in the world. What's required at PIA? You need to graduate from high school. You need an algebra higher, no SAT, no ACT. We will train you what you need to know. Also, if you want more information, please go to pia.edu. And the next steps are, again, go to the website, see if you're interested in it, and we have personal tours and open houses available.
All right, thank you so much, Pittsburgh Institute of Aeronautics. Now
Yes.
we're going to have some questions covered for our panelists to kind of give you all some wonderful kind of seats to grow on before we finish up this evening. All right. So if we can just go in the order that we presented this evening, the question that we're going to go with first is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And let's start off first with DigiPen.
Yeah, definitely. I think a huge thing that we find with our students coming to check out the school is there's only so much there's a limit you reach with the admissions office. The best thing you can really do is go talk to a student in the program that you're interested in, get their experience, see how it feels to them, see things they like and dislike. They're going to give you the full perspective of what it's like to be in their shoes. So yeah, if they have a program where you can go speak with their students, definitely take advantage of that.
Yeah, I would say don't spread yourself out too thin. Be kind to yourself. Can be a pretty stressful time. But yeah, don't apply to like 100 different colleges. Take some time at first just to think about what sort of education you want, what are your priorities, and narrow it down in that way. And never hesitate to reach out to your admissions counselors, because the more communication, the better.
I always encourage students to reach out to their admissions counselors. We love to hear from our students. It's a great piece of advice, but I always say connect with faculty and staff, because those are the people you're going to be working with throughout your time in your educational process. They're going to be your instructors and your mentors and the people guiding you through that process. So get to know them early on and ask them those questions about your program, or if you're undecided, chat with them, talk to your admissions counselor about how you can connect with those programs early on to really have a feeling of what your time in the classroom would look like.
I would like to advise them to think about it as a new passport, a passport that can take you wherever you want to be. You can't pick where you're born or where you're from, but you can pick where you want to go. And the university should lead you to this journey, which is your journey. So take the time to list the pros and cons, what you want and what you don't want, what you expect and what you don't expect out of, I don't know, your future friends, your career, your dreams, and pick a match, a university that speaks to you and transmits and mirrors the values that you want to carry as an adult.
I deal a lot with high school students. And basically, I always say to them, they always say to me, my parents want me to go into this, or my parents want me to look at this school because they went there. You know, my advice would be go where your heart's at. Go with what you're interested in, what kind of makes you excited about. That's what I would do.
Great advice. Thank you all so much. Participants, thank you for coming this evening. And reps, thank you so much for giving your time. I know you could be doing so much more tonight as well. We appreciate what you do. Remember, at the end of this, there'll be a quick survey that you fill out 4 questions. And don't forget that a video will be available of this at strivescan.com/Ohio as well. Reps, thank you so much. We appreciate your time as well. Please, hopefully we'll see you again really, really soon. And participants, have a great evening. And thank you for coming as well. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you all so much. Wonderful job. Wonderful job.